Guys, I have a deep dive to do about this artist that was accused of using AI, is basically proven to use AI. I actually have lore about this artist going back to about 2017. Because I used to be somewhat involved with this artist because we were in the same community and they were doing some sus stuff back then and it got even more sus now. The artist in question is this artist called sssocialsl. They do these very, very realistic drawings and they have 2.2 million followers on TikTok alone. They're big on Instagram. They're big on other platforms. Be careful if somebody has something to sell you. Just take what they say with a grain of salt. This person has classes and brushes to sell you, but their stuff is really sus. They start sketching. Wow, the art looks so good, right? Look at them draw. Oof, looks so realistic. Oh, look at them render. It looks a little off though. But who knows, right? Maybe it was like a one-off. And they start scrubbing. Wow, here's a beautiful drawing of Jack Frost. Doesn't he look so good? And it also looks kind of AI. Interesting. What about this one? Okay, they're painting, coloring in the eye sockets, coloring in the nose, the corner of the mouth. There's a lot of jump cuts. The way they color is a little bit interesting. It's not impossible for artists to color like this. A lot of legit artists do have this type of coloring process where they put in the darkest color first and then they render over it, but it's looking kind of sus. I want to point out some elements that look suspicious of their artwork. Look at their brush strokes here. They actually have a very sneaky way of hiding the fact that they use AI, which is why I want to point them out. I didn't just wake up and was like, let's call out this person, okay? It was because they do a really interesting job of hiding it to where I want to educate you guys on it. Look at their brush strokes. If you use a brush, what happens is you select a color and you paint that color down. How is it possible that this brush applies 3 colors? It applies a very tan orange skin tone, basically a pure white, and there's some yellow in here. One brush does not apply 4 colors. That's not how it works. So this is an older piece that I've made. I'm gonna fill it with almost black, just because it's similar to the color they were using. If I take a brush, I'm gonna pick a skin color. Only one color comes out, but the way they were painting makes it look like more than one color was coming out at once. So that's already sus. Like their brush somehow can paint like 10 colors. I want to point out this aspect to you because I don't know about you, but I don't think anybody draws eyebrows like this. Look, she has the bangs, okay? And then she starts coloring in the skin on top of the bangs, and then she cuts it into a triangle so there's an eyebrow. Maybe there's like a one artist out there that renders like that, but I feel like most people just draw the eyebrows separately. They don't cut it out like that. I also like how things slowly start appearing. Just, you know, a little bit of earring. Like just like a little lines for the mouth that immediately fully rendered. Boop. She starts rendering the eyes. And then in the next clip, she is still rendering the eyes, but there's more bangs and now the earring is done. It's just a little sus. Just a look here. She does a stroke for an eyelash, but nothing appears. She does 2 lines, but nothing appears. And then her 3rd stroke makes an eyelash appear. But the biggest giveaway of all her art so far, this one made me cackle, bro. Cackle. I swear to God. It's Jasmine. Okay, she draws a little blob. This is probably just for memes, you know, the way she draws like this. All of a sudden, she becomes huge. And with a fully rendered tiger, just done. I feel like most artists draw the person first, but I don't know. Fully rendered. Let me just point out. It's so weird. You see Jasmine's reference photo and she made her white as hell. Unless AI already like pre-did the lighting for you so that it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like color theory. But she's again coloring for color theory with like lighting that isn't fully put on the page yet. Jasmine is now lighter than me. This is the ref photo, by the way. I'm just saying. We start drawing in the eyebrow. Did you guys see how she put like so much blue on the eye just to completely erase it away again? Like this part of the rendering looks really off. It looks like you punched her in the left eye. Either this artist is the god at trust the process or there's some AI rendering going on. Okay, she draws a triangle here and then it's just gone. And then, okay, all of a sudden there's jewelry. Look how AI this earring looks. Like it went from no jewelry to bam, jewelry in one go. Like, okay, look at this. She's painting the mouth up like this, right? And then it changes. And then it changes to this. The mouth literally changed. And look, now she looks her skin tone. But why the hell did you make her white as hell in the beginning? And then look how AI the jewelry looks. Yeah, and the other eye is completely unrendered. This looks like she did a smoky eye on one eye and absolutely no eyeshadow on the other. I don't know of like a human artist that would do this, where you put this heavy eyeshadow on both eyes, you completely color it out on the next page. Where I tie into sssocialsl is I used to be part of the semi-realism art community. It is an art style. A lot of people don't like the semi-realism art style. People argue there's not much creativity that goes into it because essentially you're drawing somebody's photo. You do it in a somewhat stylized way, like this, or this one is my favorite one by far that I've ever done. It's like a little bit more anime, but it's very, very realistic. So I have this one, before, after, before, after. And yssoCiaLs was part of this community as well. But their older artwork used to be a lot more stylized. But I've always been suspicious about their older art. And it's not because I'm trying to be a hater out here, but I was doing my semi-realistic art, okay? And I would look at the photo and I would have it on the side as a reference, but I would paint separately from it. And I was like, dude, how is somebody like yssoCiaLs pumping out these pieces almost once a day? And these pieces were taking me minimum 4 hours to draw. I already draw fast too. I was like, how? Because it's so time consuming to do. But what these artists would do, like yssoCiaLs, was they would directly color select and paint over the original photo itself to be able to draw it faster. So here's their older art. This is from 2019. As you can see, I literally liked it, liked by Catlante Art, which is my art account. This is their old art. And what they would do, probably for time's sake, is they would take the original photo and literally paint directly over the person's photo. To me, it feels like cheating to do that. Maybe I'm just a hater because I did the same style, but it took me way longer to produce pieces because I drew it myself. I mean, if you take their older piece, this is the left obviously being a art piece of theirs, and you put it over the face, yeah, it's like basically 1-to-1. So literally what they would do is you take the piece and then you just go get your airbrush tool and you abuse the crap out of it. That's essentially how it would work. Like they would take the original photo and color over it like that and trace over it. So you can produce pieces faster. So they would paint over an existing photo. So I'm not surprised that now that AI is out, they're doing it again, just with AI. They're just painting over AI photos instead of actual human photos. The way they scam their process is they do a backwards drawing, essentially. So here's an older art piece of mine. So to fake their art process, they would have a layer on top with just some colors blocked in. They would do like circles for the eyes or whatever. And then they would take an eraser. They'll be like, oh, look, you know, I'm drawing in hair strands. But what they're actually doing is erasing the top layer to reveal the layer below it. And they'll just do like a couple strokes so it doesn't look as inconspicuous. But as you can see, because you're erasing, multiple colors can appear. So if you're drawing with a regular brush, you can't make more than one color appear. That's not how that works. But if you're erasing, of course you can reveal as many colors as on the layer below it. So yeah, they would erase the top layer and then they would, you know, erase a bigger chunk of it and then cut to the next step. And they'd be like, oh, I'm done. I'm done drawing the bangs now. Haha, you know? Oh, time to draw the eyes. I'm sketching one eye out. Time to draw the second eye. And then it's just erasing to reveal stuff below. So then it's like, oh, time to color the eyeball in. Haha. Oh, now we have one eye. And now we have the other eye. Which is why their piece jumps so quickly. That's why their piece goes from like having blobs of color to all of a sudden something is completely rendered. How did that happen? It's because they're erasing the top layer off. So that's how they fake their art process. So they do a very interesting process where they actually erase a top layer to reveal the layer below it. And yeah, it's like, oh, look, ta-da, haha, our piece is done, yay. They've been exposed so many times now. They keep this behavior because they have something to gain. They're selling you something. They have online classes, and they have brushes, and they have a Patreon. They have these brush packs they keep selling you. That's what they keep using in their videos, in their art processes. They keep using these brush packs. But you're not going to be able to draw like them with their brush pack because they're faking it. It's not real. They'll open one of their brushes. They'll be like, oh, look at this new hair brush that can make your hair look so pretty. Wow. But your brush is not going to behave the way their brush is because they're using it as an eraser. So it's making all these pretty colors appear below it. You're going to use the brush as an actual painting brush, and brushes can only put down one color at a time. So you're not going to get the same result that their brush will, because they're using it as an eraser and you're using it to paint. It's not the same thing. Let me just show you the difference. I'm using the netted eraser brush, okay? Wow, look at all these pretty colors that are appearing with this brush as I'm erasing, as I'm using it. Wow, so cool, right? But if I try to paint with it, it doesn't look as good anymore, because if you paint, you can only use one color at a time. I'll have to like pick a different color if I want other colors to appear. Whereas if you erase, you can erase to see all the colors below it. They will sell brushes to try to sell you the hope that if you buy it, you can draw like them. But that's not how it works. Like, you can't draw like an artist just because you have brushes they've made. And I'm not trying to sound like a hater. Look, I've bought brushes from artists, and there's some artists that have good brushes that I like. They sell their actual brush pack, the ones they use on an everyday basis. Most artists only use like 2 to 3 brushes. So I'm like, oh, wait, they have a really pretty rendering brush. Like, I want it. I'll buy the pack just so I could get it. I don't trust artists that sell you like 20 bajillion brushes because most artists only use like 2 to 3 brushes. Maybe you use like a couple of fun brushes to add sparkles. This person apparently has like 20 bajillion brushes. Yeah, they ain't doing this. I think it's so funny too, because if you go look at their brushes, they'll have people putting it like a 5-star, but they also have like a whole bunch of 1-star ratings. It's 5 or 1. And I think it's 1-star because people bought it and they realized, wait a sec, it doesn't make me draw like them. Because it can't, because they fake their process. Like, look, oh my God. All these 5-star ratings and then bam, a whole bunch of 1-star. This brush again, 5 stars, 4 stars, no 3-star ratings, and almost even amounts of 5-star and 1-star ratings. I'm not gonna support a scammer. I don't want to put any money in their pocket. But yeah, the ones with only 1 review, I don't know, because there's not enough reviews. But yeah, be careful of where you put your money, guys. If somebody has something to sell you, you should take it with a grain of salt and double, triple, quadruple check before you cha-ching, spend your money. Same goes for me. Look, I have one-on-one coaching, okay, that I sell you guys. If you want it, you can buy it off my coffee. Double, triple check before you swipe your credit card, okay? Because, hey, I fall in the same boat as these people. You don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. We all have things to sell. Make sure it's something ethical, okay?